Passage for Reading Comprehension and Listening by S.M.Zakir Hossain. Passage 5.
A manager who tries to influence a subordinate through persuasion does not directly draw upon his or her power to reward or punish the other. There are, in fact, no concrete inducements offered. The appeal in persuasion is to the intelligence, rationality, and ultimate reasonableness of the individual one is trying to influence. Consequently, the influencer must draw upon his or her expert power and or referent power to persuade another. For, in evaluating a persuasive argument, the perceived knowledge and expertise of the influencer is critical, as is his or her prestige, and the degree to which he or she is held in respect.
Even if the ultimate goal of the persuasive attempt is to influence behavior, persuasion focuses on changing attitudes, beliefs, and values. The assumption underlying persuasive efforts is that, by changing someone's orientation or convictions, one can, indirectly, change that person's behavior as well. This approach has several implications, all of which render persuasion a far more efficient influence strategy than either threats or promises.
First, the exact behaviors, which are desired or undesirable, need not be itemized. If a change in heart occurs, one would expect an array of behaviors to change behaviors, which are not, even apparently, related to one another. An example is useful here. Suppose, for instance, a manager can convince a subordinate that a particular project is not simply an exercise in futility, but is actually feasible and, if successful, very important. This change in attitude would then be likely to affect a variety of the subordinate's behaviors, ranging from his or her general mood, to his or her promptness in completing assigned work, to his or her accuracy in the work that he or she does. These, and many other behaviors, can be affected by the change in attitude brought about by persuasion.
Second, persuasion, if successful, makes surveillance unnecessary. If a behavior stems from a person's attitudes, not from external inducement, then the energy and motive for sustaining the behavior is always present. Because the motivation comes from within, the person feels good about what he or she is doing, and that, in itself, generates additional motivation to continue. The troublesome problem of behavior monitoring is simply not relevant.
Third, because persuasion does not prescribe specific behaviors, and because rewards and punishments are not involved, the person being influenced is apt to feel as if he or she has greater freedom to act. Incentives, whether positive, as in promises, or negative, as in threats, create constraints. In contrast, persuasion leaves room for voluntary action, and often is viewed as an influence strategy that displays more respect for individual integrity.